I'm just off to the Extra Life Gaming Lounge to meet Mike and Rachael. I'm just going to ask them some questions, how they got started with the gaming lounge, and then we're going to play some games as well, have a look round, do a bit of filming.
My name's Mike. I'm one of the owners and runners of Extra Life Gaming Lounge in Sheffield.
Okay, so before Extra Life Gaming Lounge, what's your story? How did you first get into gaming?
So I've been a gamer for as long as I can remember, really. Started off on things like the Commodore Amiga, Atari, stuff like that. Moved up to the Mega Drive, Super Nintendos, PlayStations, and basically just kept going since. Always been into video gaming and collecting, and we decided to mash that in with running this place as well.
So what's the very first game you remember you loved?
The very first game I remember playing was a game called Barbarian on the Amstrad CPC 464, which was a very blocky one-on-one fighting game where you got to decapitate each other and just like a little square trying to be ahead that would bounce along the floor. And first game I remember really enjoying and loving was probably Streets of Rage on the Sega Mega Drive. Me and my sister played that for hours on end during the school holidays.
So if you weren't running a gaming lounge right now, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Well, before we opened up this place, I was a health and safety advisor in heavy manufacturing industries. So I'd worked in places like the automotive industry and other factories and worked as like their head of health and safety. So I imagine I would probably still be doing that.
So what's your typical day look like for you here at Extra Life?
Typical day, we usually get here for round about 7 o'clock-ish. Takes us a couple of hours to get everything set up and ready. All our food we do is homemade. So it's like homemade burgers, chilies and stuff like that, so we have to get all that stuff ready. We open at 10 o'clock, run till usually 8 o'clock in the evening. Then another couple of hours shut down, clean down, get everything ready for the next day. Off home and back here the following day.
Where did the idea for Extra Life Gaming Lounge come from? Was there a moment where you thought, yeah, this could really work?
So it started off where me and my wife Rachel were on holiday, and it was one of those where neither of us wanted to particularly go back to our current jobs, and we were dreading it. We were just sat in this little cafe and we were like, well, why don't we start our own business? Previously, before my previous career, I was a trained chef, spent 15-20 years working as a chef. I was like, well, why don't we start our own little family-run cafe like the one we were sat in is, and just be our own bosses. And then it occurred to me that I've got this massive video game collection, which I'll be honest, all I did was gather dust and use most of it. So I was like, well, why don't we try and combine the two? See if anyone else has done anything similar, how they operate and stuff like that. We looked around and people had done something on similar lines, but it was more bar focused and more evening entertainment, and we wanted to do something a bit more family friendly, and it just kind of evolved from there. The toughest part would be taking that jump from having a steady, like full-time, well-paying job or steadily paid job to jumping into that unknown of not knowing if people are going to come through the door, not knowing how busy you're going to be from day to day, and just taking that leap from being like a full-time employee to zero-time employee, I guess, doing it yourself as self-employed.
Yeah, because as your original vision for the lounge evolved since you first opened the doors, would you say?
Yes. So we've been here nearly 7 years now, and over the time we've obviously had to change as the market's changed, as the economy's changed and stuff like that. Initially, when we first started off, we didn't charge for the gaming, so it was as long as you were a paying customer, you got to play the video games for free. And then things like the pandemic hit and the energy crisis, and price soared up, so we had to introduce a gaming charge. We've changed things on just how stuff works. So initially, we'd have all the controllers out, consoles ready to go, things switched on, and then we'd realise that was a super expensive way to run things when we got our electricity bills in, so we had to slightly change that. So yeah, the business has constantly been evolving, and we've been adapting with the changing markets, really.
So, you got a menu full of like gamer favourites: burgers, melts, movies, cakes. What would you say your favourite is?
Mine's burgers. I'm a sucker for a good homemade burger.
Me too.
Most meat, the more meat on it, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So how do you come up with new food and drink ideas for the menu, would you say?
It's always an interesting one. Usually it's either a seasonal thing, makes it a bit easy, so things like the Christmas menus or the Halloween menus help. But we do change, we put specials on every 2 months, so it's just from knowing what has gone well in the past, really, from experience, and just constantly trying to come up with new things. Don't really have any set method to how we go about things. It's just, oh, we think this might do well or that might do well. Usually dependent on the weather as well. So like when the cold weather comes in, we find things like rice pudding and homemade macaroni and cheese, and that absolutely fly out. But salads, not so much.
So what kind of atmosphere did you want to create? More like a chilled out cafe, a fun place to hang out, or full on gaming zone?
A bit of a mixture of all three, really. We wanted like a chilled out, relaxed atmosphere. But we also wanted, obviously, if people are really into the game and enjoy that type of stuff, that this would be a place to come for all sorts of different games, like your modern and your retro stuff. Initially, it was kind of the type of place I would have wanted to hang out in when I was a kid, but didn't exist, sort of thing. Because although there were arcades, they were a lot more, should we say, more mature audience, whereas we just wanted a more chilled out, family-friendly vibe.
Yeah, because when I walked in, I didn't expect it being this big. So you see it on the front, don't you? Then there's all this part down the side. So when someone walks in for the first time, what kind of reaction do you usually see?
Mostly, again, surprised at the size and just the sheer amount of stuff we have just scattered around. You tend to find that a lot of people spend looking around just seeing bits that they used to see as a kid or noticing different things. And then once they've spotted the menu, the size of the menu tends to take people by surprise as well. So I think a lot of places, a lot of people expect a smaller scale menu and don't expect it to be as extensive and as much homemade food as we do.
Yeah. So what's been your favourite gaming event you've hosted so far?
Oh, favourite gaming event hosted? I would probably say our first ever competition night we did. It was absolutely massive sellout. We had a good friend who was hosting it for us. It was a free to enter competition, and the amount of people that showed up and really enjoyed it was just a really casual, fun, goofy night. We had of CGI horses on a racetrack, and they all start off, and then the idea is that you put a token down on which one you think is going to win, but then something random will happen, like all of a sudden a horse will come by on a rocket pack or something like that. It's just a really goofy thing and you never quite know what to expect, and it was all different races and that, and it was just a really fun night.
So in a world where mostly it's online, what do you think a place like this plays a role in connecting people?
It provides access to games that people wouldn't typically be able to find anymore, or if they do, then they're really expensive. That social aspect of meeting new people with similar interests over those type of things. So there's quite a few people here that have met really good friends here and come in every week, have chats, catch up. We get a lot of care providers come in with their clients, who to them this is like a big social event for them.
I'll tell you what I do. I mean, I bring Stephen, I support people with learning disabilities.
Yeah.
So I bring Stephen on a Thursday and Friday, and we like to support small and medium-sized family businesses. And I like to bring clients here to be able to engage with people and to be able to do gaming.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I do a lot of other stuff for other organisations for males who are suffering with anxiety, depression, alcohol abuse, drug addiction, and I support that group too. And bringing them together, we go out, we do walks, we go to the cinema. It's all about connecting people, bringing people together, and spreading that the joy and the happiness and the love, and so yeah.
Yeah, because I suppose a place like this is really good for like the mental health gaming, and
it is.
Because people love gaming, don't they?
It
so,
is.
Yeah.
And a lot of different people come here because they feel safe.
Yeah.
And that's the most important, feeling safe, and so yeah. It's all good. This is Stephen.
Hi Stephen, you alright? You alright to be on camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about the place, and do you enjoy coming here?
Yeah, there's plenty of options, and Is you got extra over the older guys, ice and modern for the newer people.
It's nice relaxing space, isn't it, where you can chill out and play a few games.
The signature is by the guy that voices Albert Lester in Resident Evil 4 or 5, so a guy called DC Douglas.
See you later. Yeah. Mum's gone off to see your friend at ex-boss, yeah, she was telling me, yeah. Hopefully she'll have a nice day together. Oh, yeah.
So there are other gaming cafes out there. What makes Extra Life different from the rest?
So not to criticise some of those, we went through, so a lot of these places, a lot of them are really good. We noticed a large majority of the video gaming venues were more nightlife based and more bar based, so it was a more of a mature audience. And then a few of the others that we saw, a lot of them did, the food wise was basically just bought in frozen stuff. So you get like your frozen pizzas, your frozen deep fried chicken burgers and stuff like that. We wanted to do something different where it was hearty, homemade, decent food, all made from scratch on site. As little of it is bought in frozen as possible. And the variety of games and consoles that we provide as well. Rather than us just trying to concentrate on the latest titles constantly, which is a very fad-driven thing. We just want a wide variety and library of different games that people can enjoy.
So when you look around the lounge, what's the thing that always makes you the proudest?
The thing that makes me the proudest would probably just be the actual lounge itself. I was remembering from when we first got this place, it was quite run down, hadn't been looked after, needed a ton of cleaning, and it was a real hustle to get this place up and running. I think it took us was about a month of just straight cleaning to get it an acceptable thing. So seeing the place actually open now, and the fact that it's been running for nearly 7 years, I'd imagine that's probably what makes me feel the proudest.
And finally, what's the one piece of advice you give to someone who dreams of opening their own gaming lounge or creative space?
Get experience in other places first. So if you've not had hospitality experience, go off and learn that first. Don't fall into the trap of trying to keep up with the latest titles constantly, because it will just cost you a fortune. And first and foremost, try and be community orientated, because it's the community and the regulars that will help carry that business through. Coming back to that community-based thing, we've got two sides to this. You've got these people are all people that have won competitions over the years, and these people that are all completed games from start to finish here. Not necessarily in one sitting, but they've come back time and time again and managed to kind of beat the games.
Game face is on.
Here we go, game face. 3 buttons. And mix it up a bit, look. Oh god. I'll do it. Alright, same again, like this with the magic. There we go. Boom. Eat this. I used to be locked in my room for like 10 hours playing all these games. About 12, I bought the console off someone for 70 quid. We got Donkey Kong Country, a couple other games like Super Mario. That's been very good.